Dear student viewers of plus 1, you are having in unit 5 prose convocation address by Dr. Kanchivaram Nadarajan Annadurai. So he gave a speech in Annamalai University in the year 1967 on November 18th. So here is your lesson, a prose piece, but a speech here it is. The speech was given by him before the students who got the convocations, their convocations. So by the time he requested the students, he asked the students in what way they have to lead the life. Even Nehru, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, our former Prime Minister of India, the first Prime Minister of India, gave the words Dr. Annadurai. He is one of the best parliamentarians in India, and Dr. Annadurai, a short story writer, a novelist, a screenplay writer, such a familiar person he is, and he was awarded by Yale University, Chubb's Fellowship Award he received from Yale University in America. And not only that, he got the doctorate degree also from Annamalai University of Chidambaram. So Chubb Fellowship Award from Yale University and doctorate degree from Annamalai University. So all these awards and his celebrated nature now brought Dr. Aringer Annadurai to Chidambaram University to give the suggestions to the students and the role of students to the future generation. This particular prose piece as the speech is very relevant to the ideas given in Purananuru also, because in those days people, men and women, they led a very courageous life, selfless spirit they had in those days. In those days, if anybody had given the whole earth as the award to a particular person, the person would not have committed any crime at all, because in those days they were very selfless. They did not get addicted, they did not get themselves addicted to the awards for doing some misdeeds against the society. So that is the main idea given in Purananuru. That idea is being explicitly focused by Dr. Annadurai here in this particular speech. So this speech is an excerpt from his speech on November 18th of 1967 at Annamalai University in Chidambaram. How a school or how an institution, how a college or a university has to be. For example, you are all studying in plus 1. After completing your plus 2, you may go and get admission in any one of the colleges or universities. So how the university or college has to be, what do you think? Yeah, full of infrastructures and experienced professors, a very wide rank in the national level, international level, much campus interviews to be conducted in your engineering colleges or somewhere else. So that like that you have the dream about a particular institution where you are going to join. So the institution that I am going to join has to be like this, then only I can go and study there. If experienced professors or lecturers are not there, then how can I go and study? My bright future will be completely waste one. So thinking that, he gives suggestions to the students, what the role of you, so how you should mold yourself in the university or a college. So he gives the ideas here. Only the democracy, the real nature or real sense or the features of democracy can be learnt only in a college or university, because the next step the students are going is their life. Before going to life, they have to learn all the good characteristics, they have to imbibe all the good characteristics in themselves, so that in the world, the future will be very bright for them. So in the introductory part of this speech itself, the students have to think that they are studying, they are getting scholarship, they are studying from the revenues, from the amount given by or given from the revenues of the common people. The common people, they are the toilers, they are the tillers somewhere else. They are the unsung heroes. The real hero may be somewhere else at the first place, but who are the unsung heroes? The agriculturists, the farmers, the common men, or the lower class people, they are the unsung heroes here. What they have earned, from that the students are studying either the MBBS or they are studying the engineering courses or the studying arts and science classes in the universities or colleges. So they are making use of the amount or the money got from the revenues of the common people. So we have been getting the amount from the common people, and the amount is being spent on us, and what we are going to give back to them. For example, சின்ன வயசில் நம்மலாம் இருக்கும்போது வீட்டில் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க, காக்காய்க்கு போய் சாப்பாடு வை, வெளியில் சோறு வை அப்படின்ட்டு இருப்பாங்க. எறும்புக்கு போய் கோலம் போடு அப்படின்ட்டு இருப்பாங்க. அந்த கோலம் கூட நீங்கள் அரிசி மாவில் போட்டிருப்பீங்க. நம்ம அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுற அந்த டெண்டன்சி இருக்குது பாருங்கள், அது காக்காய் மூலமாகவும் எறும்பு மூலியமாகவும் பெரியவங்க நம்ம சின்ன வயசில் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ the students also, the university students, college students, the school students, whoever may be, have the motto, a service motto, service as our motto, because your main aim is serving the society, because we are getting the amount from the common people, we are getting the amount collected from the common people's revenues, and we are spending on ourselves in the name of scholarships or something else. For example, ஒரு நீட் எக்ஸாம் நீங்கள் பாஸ் பண்ணுறீங்க, போய்ட்டு எம்பிபிஎஸ் ஜாயின் பண்ணுறீங்க, கவர்மெண்ட் காலேஜ் நீங்கள் ஜாயின் பண்ணோன்னே கவர்மெண்ட் உங்களுக்கு எவ்வளோ செலவழிக்குது, ஒவ்வொரு பையனுக்கும் 4 லட்சத்துலேருந்து 10 லட்சம் 11 லட்சம் வரும் கவர்மெண்ட் உங்களுக்கு செலவழித்து மேலே உங்களுக்கு டாக்டர் ஆகுது. அந்த டாக்டர் ஆன பிறகு நீங்கள் போய் ஒரு கிராமத்தில் எங்கேயா போய் நீங்கள் உதவி செய்கிறீங்க. அந்த டாக்டர் கிராமத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய நோயாளிகளுக்கு நீங்கள் போய் ஒரு சர்வீஸ் மைண்டடாக நல்லா பண்ணுறீங்க. ஸோ யூ ஆர் கிவிங் பேக் த டெட் தட் யூ ஹவ் காட் earlier. So what we have to give back to the common people, or the peasants, or the farmers, or the villagers. So for that he gives the idea here. So in the introductory part itself he requests the students, he suggests the students to make themselves use to the society. So he gives the cardinal ideas, he gives the principles, what the principles the students have to follow. So the complete speech is mainly on the aim of serving the society, because in the olden days the people were not at all considered. In the olden days, the poets, the artists, the writers, they thought about only the royal family members. They thought about the aristocratic family members. They did not think about the layman's ideals. They thought only the ideals of the experts. So in those days, the scholars did not bother about, or the poets did not bother about the ordinary common people at all. But at least you, dear students, you go and serve the society. That's the main idea of my aim. That's what he says here. The common man's, this is the common man's age. So common man, from the revenues of the common man we are using our own strength, because the universities are the right places where we can make use of the democracy. Because in those days monarchies were there, aristocratic family members were respected in those days. In those days anarchy, monarchy, plutocracy, autocracy, aristocracy, all these crises were there once upon a time. In those days no common men were respected at all, but at least having the wisdom, because university gives thought, university gives the leadership quality, university gives the opportunity for you, it gives opportunities as well as responsibilities on your shoulder. You have to carry this with you. Now the inauguration of democracy has been done here. We got the democracy, our country is a democratic country. Democracy has been introduced here to you. So with the democratic feelings you start moving into the society. The society will welcome you. If you are an autocrat, if you are an autocrat, or if you are in the monarchy, then you cannot do all these things. You will be supporting only the royal family members, only the aristocratic family members, not the ordinary people. So when are you going to worry about the ordinary man? Because you are studying with the amount given by the ordinary people or common man, either in the name of taxes or in the name of revenues. So with their amount we are studying, and how we are going to give back to them. நம்முடைய படிப்பு எல்லாமே ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் மூலியமாகவோ ஏதோ ஒரு வழியாக சாதாரண மனிதர்கள் சம்பாதிக்கக்கூடிய பணத்திலிருந்து கொஞ்சோண்டு அமௌண்ட் நமக்கு வந்து நம்ம படிப்பை கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ணுறோம். நம்ம படிப்பை கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ண பிறகு நம்ம யாருக்கு அதிகமாக செலவு பண்ணணும், யாருக்கு நம்ம சர்வீஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா அந்த காமன் பீப்புள், அந்த கிராமத்தில் எங்கேயோ ஒரு மூலையில் கஷ்டப்படுறாங்களே அவங்களுக்கு போய் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுங்க அப்படிங்கிறாரு இங்கே. monarchical feudal areas. So what the philosophy of university gives to you, no mass is being considered at all. So you, my dear students, you the students of university, you go to any one of the villages and construct a building there, construct an apartment there. You just found an institution there, found a school there, otherwise construct a textile mill or any other mill or factories, and give employment opportunities to the villagers and give more salary to the villagers in such a way that you can serve the society. So that's how your ideals can be fulfilled. Even my ideals also can be easily fulfilled only by serving the society. So service to the society is the motto so far. And what else he says here, role of university he talks about. In the next idea he is talking about the role of university. Before democracy, before being a citizen of democracy, we have our own hopes. Our hopes are being kindled here in the university. We are being trained like anything. What are the hopelessness we have to throw away all those things, because university teaches you how to get the sense of adjustment. University teaches you sense of adjustment, university gives for us. and sense of understanding among the other boys and girls, because we may be friends, we may have the friends here in the university, our friends will sometimes quarrel with us, we may quarrel with others. So by the time, through discussions, through congenial atmosphere, we are behaving with those, we are going one another with those people, and we are getting ourselves understood. So that sense of adjustment, a sense of understanding others' feelings, so these are the characteristics being imbibed by us only through the behavior of the college or the university areas. So such kind of nature that gives to us. So why shouldn't impart this kind of education to the university? Why couldn't we go to the society and serve the society? So university, what else university gives? You, my dear students, you may go into the world in the future. So when you go there, you should have passions. Without passions, some common people, some people who do not understand you, understand about your service, may scold you. Somebody will come and find fault with you. By the time you should have the sense of passions, you should have the perseverance also. விடாமுயற்சி. 4 வயசுல ஆரம்பிச்சார் டெண்டுல்கர். அப்படி எப்படி பேட்டை பிடிக்கணும்னு ஆரம்பிச்சார். 14 வயசுல உலகத்தை சாதிச்சிட்டார். அதே மாதிரி அப்துல் கலாம் 5ஆம் கிளாஸ் படிக்கும்போது அந்த புறாவினுடைய படத்தை பார்க்குறாரு. இந்த புறா மாதிரி நானும் ஒரு நாளைக்கு பறக்கணும்னு நினைச்சார். விடாமுயற்சி, பர்சிவியரன்ஸ், அதை கண்டிப்பாக சாதிச்சு காமிச்சிட்டார் இன்னைக்கு உலகத்தில். அது மாதிரி in the same way you also try to have a sense of passions, perseverance. We have the faith also. I can do, I can win. That kind of nature is in you. So don't lose it. Have the faith, have the confidence, because university has given the responsibilities over you. So after completing this education, you are having competitive exams, you are having umpteen opportunities outside the world. So you have to get yourself settled somewhere else. So after getting settled, then you will feel life is fruitful. So what kind of nature that you are going to get? Life is fruitful. That nature will come to you, that understanding will come to you only when you have the sense of passions, perseverance and faith. Otherwise, we cannot carry on our responsibilities on our shoulders. So if you carry on your responsibility on shoulder, a fruitful democracy will be there. That fruitful democracy will show you a nice world. Dr. Radhakrishnan, just to say our former President of India, Dr. Radhakrishnan, he went to Brussels, the capital of Belgium. He also once upon a time, he expressed the same views. What? The students of university have to understand the struggles of the past. The students of the university or the college have to understand the present dangers, the dangers of the present, the opportunities of the present time, the responsibilities of the present time, what the challenges are to be faced by the present day students. So university gives such an education, that education we have to learn. நம்ம உலகத்துக்குள்ள போனோம்னா நம்ம என்னென்னத்தை எதிர்நோக்க போகிறோம், நமக்கு வாய்ப்புகள் எப்படி இருக்குது, எவ்வளோ போட்டி போட்டால் நம்ம வாழ்க்கையில் வாழ முடியும், எல்லாத்தையும் கொடுக்கக்கூடியது இந்த யூனிவர்சிட்டி. ஸோ அப்படிப்பட்ட கல்வியை கற்றுக்குங்க. அதே சமயத்தில் யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் இருக்கிற பசங்க பழைய காலத்தில் எப்படி நம்முடைய சுதந்திர போராட்டத்து வீரர்கள் கஷ்டப்பட்டு உழைச்சி இந்த சுதந்திரத்தை வாங்கி டெமோக்ரஸிங்கிற கையில் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஹவு தே ஹவ் given democracy to us. So we have to save democracy. We have to give the meaning for the term democracy. So that also been given, this idea also been given once upon a time by Dr. Radhakrishnan. So you have to follow that rule also. So we are expecting a decent living on earth, because every student, one who has completed either the college education or the university education, if he or she comes out of the college or university to the society, we want a decent living. So what do you mean by decent living? Decent living is there in serving the society, because as soon as you come out, the society has looked after you so far. Now you have to look after the society. The common man is expecting something from you. உங்களோட வில்லேஜுக்கு போங்க, வில்லேஜில் சொல்லுவாங்க, இந்த பையன் எங்கள் ஸ்கூலில் எங்கள் ஊர்லேயே ஒரு டிகிரி படித்த பையன் காலேஜில் படித்து வந்துருக்கிறான். ஸோ இந்த பையன் தான் எங்களுக்கு நிறைய வேலை வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்துருக்குறான். ஒரு பெரிய 40 ஏக்கரில் தோட்டம் வச்சுருக்கான். அந்த தோட்டத்தில் அவன் பிஎஸ்சி அக்ரி முடிச்சுட்டு வந்த பிறகு நிறைய டெவலப்மெண்ட்டை கொண்டு வந்து எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் வேலை வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்தது இந்த பையன் தான். இன்றைக்கி இந்த பையனால தான் எங்கள் குடும்பத்துலலாம் நல்லா அடுப்பு எரியுது. காரணம் நிறைய எங்களுக்கு சேலரி கொடுக்குறான். ஸோ இன் சச் ஏ வே you complete your degree, you complete your post graduation or PhD and come back to the common man and serve there, give more wages to them and get less also for you, for your side. And if you serve the society in such a way, the whole village, all the human community, all the common man community will be after you. So we got the money through the revenues of the common people. Now we are indebted to their ideals. So we have to respect their ideals. So serve the society. And how are you going to repay them? This is the way. by constructing a building, an apartment or institution or factory or any other institution through which you can do your service to the common man. So this is the way. So in this way, by serving the society, you can lead a decent life, you can lead a decent living. So decent living means serving the society stresses this point. The society expects more from you. What the society expects? It expects bright sunlight from you. The society expects hopes from you. If I go after this graduate, if I go after this boy or the girl who has completed degree and ready to give opportunities, employment opportunities to me, my life will be very bright. The society, the common people's society expects bright sunshine from you. They expect comfort from you. They expect happiness from you. Finally, a new life has to be given only by you, the graduates or the postgraduates or the doctorates. So the life history of common people is there in your hands. If you give more and more wages or more and more sources for the common man's living, the common people will get a new life. Even just you think of Jefferson's quotation, the former American president, what he says, we must dream of an aristocracy of achievements arising out of a democracy of opportunities. Democracy of opportunities means large number of opportunities, number of employment opportunities. And from that, you have to be an aristocrat. Your life should be aristocratic. You should be very rich. Choose any one of the jobs and attend the competitive exams and get 4 appointments and choose one and go and join the job and have your life in a bright way. Then you can come out with the flying colors. So Jefferson says our opportunities should be democratic, our achievements should be aristocratic. Aristocratic means sophisticated life. So multi number of opportunities should be there in front of you. In such a way you have to mold yourself, and if you come to the society, if you get through the opportunities, and the life can be aristocratic. So such a life a man, a boy or a girl should lead. And not only that, he has to make others also be aristocratic or sophisticated. Their life should be sophisticated. That's what his ideals. See how he takes the example of Jefferson, he takes the example of Dr. Radhakrishnan. So with these ideals, he stands there in front of the boys and girls of Annamalai University. So see, my dear students of this university, Annadurai talks like that. My dear students, you are going to step into the society where dimness is there, where all your encouragements, all your appointments, all your opportunities, all your responsibilities may be discouraged. You may get disappointment. Your ideals may be disappointed. Your motto, your aim, whatever you have in your mind, the whole life may be disappointed completely. Somebody will be there, they will pull you down at any cost. Don't get frustrated. Don't lose your heart. You just take over all the challenges and cross over the challenges and come out to the better life or the best life at last. The country people may be, sometimes some of the people may be very tyrants. They may be tyrants. They will disturb you. But even among them, some of the crusaders are there. Like Mahatma Gandhi, he saved the lives of others. Like some crusaders will be there, they will save your life. Just one step you put forward and the other steps will be taken by other people. So this idea he expressed, the same idea was expressed in Purananuru also. What the ideals Purananuru say about, Purananuru says, if you have courage, if you are selfless in your ideals, if you help others, if you serve the society will exist forever. Even because of the men and women in those days being good, even now the society exists. So that kind of ideal he gives. This happened nearly 2000 years before. So such ideals are relevant even now. What the ideals we find there in Purananuru, the same kind of ideals means serving the society, helping others, having a selfless ideal to help others, and having a courageousness in our mind and soul. So such a nature only will make us towards the peak. Like this, he comes to the last part of the thing, GC. So we are inheriting a rich legacy. That means we are having a rich background. Our history is a vast history. We have a rich experienced history we have. and the students of this university, you my dear students, you have almost imbibing the abilities in all the walks of life. With those abilities, come into the world and step into the world, and just enjoy the success. If you cross all the trials and tribulations in life, you will reach a land that is the land of smiles. So there the land will smile with you, not at you. So your bright future will be shared by the common people also. So the last, common people can enjoy their lives and you can give a share to the common people. At last, finally, the whole country will be very happy because of the you graduates. So you plan properly and come out successfully. So congratulations to all the students who are ready to step into life and serve the society. So my main motto is making you serve the society, serve the common people. Okay. So like this he comes to the last part of the speech. From this understanding, what you have the questions to ask. You are having tasks of synonyms, antonyms. For example, ruggedness, you have the strength or toughness as a synonym, and antonyms is smoothness. So likewise you have to study the other words in the glossary. Not only the glossary, the extra other words given there in the textbook, you have to study all those areas so that your answer may be correct. And after that you are having another type of question. Field, you have to identify the field. For example, some words will be given. A clinical, for example, clinical, that is a technical term from medicine. So from medicine you are having the technical term clinical, and cultivation, that is the field of agriculture, and orchestra, that is the field from music. So you have to identify the field according to the meaning of the words. That's another test of question to be given for you. Next one, in almost all the units you are having a small column, a small box called do you know. So this kind of question may be asked in the competitive exams also. So in this particular prose piece, what been given there, the earliest, which is the earliest democracy that you find in the history, means we find the earliest history with the democracy was found in Athens history in 510 BCE, before Common Era. In Athens we find the first earliest democracy in Athens, because by the time 510 BCE itself, some of all the adult men were asked to exercise their franchise. They got the voting rights, they voted. So this is the first earliest democracy in the world found in the history of democracy. So like this you can have the question for TNPSC, or even for your +1 examination itself you can have the question like this. So you concentrate on this area. Next one, different forms. For example, guide. The word guide can be used in two ways. Can I guide you? Can I guide you? Here you have the word guide as the verb. Give me a guide. He is a guide. Give me your guide. If I ask like that, the word guide is used as a noun. So one word will be given, what are the different functions of the word can be asked for you. So you have to learn about for book also. Go and book a ticket, give me your book. Go and book a ticket means the word book is used as a verb. Give me your ticket, give me your book. Book here used as a noun. So same word but in different ways it is used. So what are the different forms of a word? Such kind of question can be asked to you. Next. So after that you are having one word substitution. For example, you are having optimism. What is the meaning of optimism? If you have the hope that everything is going to happen well, எல்லாமே நல்லபடியா நடக்கும் நினைச்சீங்கன்னா, that kind of feeling is called optimism. The word having the end of ism, so the suffix is there ism. So ism, with that suffix some of the words will be given. According to the meaning you have to shoot the word in the blank. So optimism, having the hope of everything happening or to happen in future in a good manner. Positive attitude. If it is negative attitude, என்ன நடந்து என்ன நடக்க போகுது, என்ன படிச்சு என்ன வர போகுது அப்படி நினைச்சீங்கன்னா பெசிமிசம். So வர்றத வச்சு நம்ம எழுதுவோம் பார்ப்போம் அப்படி நினைச்சு போனா ஆப்டிமிசம். So you are having that kind of question, one word substitution, that's called. So from that area also you may be asked question. Related to speaking skill, you are having the open letter, because sometimes we may cut off that area speaking skill, but the question will be there. 1 mark or 2 marks or 5 marks question also can be asked there. Here is a reference for open letter. Open letter means any letter that can be read by anybody else, but any letter written by somebody. One person writing a letter to another, but what we say, ஒருத்தங்க எழுதின லெட்டர் இன்னொருத்தங்க படிக்க கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லுவோம். அது மாதிரி கிடையாது. ஓப்பன் லெட்டருங்கிற அப்படி கிடையாது. ஒருத்தர் எழுதின லெட்டரை நீங்கள் மீடியாவுக்கு கொடுக்கலாம், வேறு யார்கிட்டயோ கொடுத்து படிக்க சொல்லலாம், அதில் அறிவுரைகள் இருக்கும், அதில் உங்களுடைய கன்சர்ன் ஏதாவது இருக்கும். அப்படி இருந்துச்சுன்னா ஒருத்தர் எழுதின லெட்டரை எல்லாரும் படிக்கக்கூடியதாக இருந்தால் அதுக்கு பேர் ஓப்பன் லெட்டர்னு பேர். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஜவஹர்லால் நேரு, he wrote letters to Indira Gandhi, his daughter. So those letters are considered open letters because he wrote letters to Indira Gandhi, but it's not only personal letter, the letter consists of many ideas, so many features how Indira Gandhi has to lead the country, so that letter is called open letter because it was given to the media, later it came to the syllabus or the curriculum, later we are also reading those letters. So the letter being written by particular person to another person is being given to media or being read by us, so that is called open letter. Such kind of question also may be there in the 1 mark area. Apart from that, you are having the speeches also, so you have to concentrate those speeches. So regarding grammar, you are having the reported speech, direct speech and indirect speech, so you have to concentrate on the major areas, how the conjunctions are being used, how the pronouns are getting changed, how the adverbs or adjectives got changed. For example, this gets changed into that, from direct to indirect. ரெண்டு பேர் ஒருத்தருக்கு ஒருத்தர் பேசுகிறத மூணாவது ஆள் கேட்டு போய் இன்னொருத்தர் சொன்னாங்கன்னா அதுதான் நம்ம வந்து இன்டைரக்ட் ஸ்பீச்னு சொல்லுவோம். ரெண்டு பேர் பேசுகிறதுல யாராவது ஒருத்தர் இன்னொருத்தர் போய் சொன்னார்னா அதுதான் இன்டைரக்ட் ஸ்பீச். ஸோ த எக்ஸாக்ட் வேர்ட்ஸ் கம் அண்டர் டைரக்ட் ஸ்பீச், வாட் த வேர்ட்ஸ் பீன் ரிப்போர்ட்டட் டு சம்படி எல்ஸ் கம்மிங் அண்டர் இன்டைரக்ட் ஸ்பீச். ஸோ இதில் இருக்கக்கூடிய சேஞ்சஸ் நீங்கள் தெரிஞ்சு வச்சுக்கணும். சில நேரத்தில் உலக உண்மைகளை பேசுகிறப்ப எப்பயுமே பெர்மனண்ட்டான உண்மைகளை பேசுனீங்கன்னா நீங்கள் அங்கே டென்சஸ் சேஞ்ச் பண்ண வேண்டியதில்லை. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஹியர் இஸ் a sentence, I said he knows French. நான் சொன்னேன் அந்த பையனுக்கு ஃப்ரெஞ்சுங்கிற மொழி தெரியும் அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அவன் நேற்று நாங்கள் பேசுனப்போ நான் அந்த பையன்கிட்ட சொன்னேன் அவனுக்கு ஃப்ரெஞ்சு தெரியுமான்னு சொல்லி. இன்றைக்கி நானே இப்போ இன்னொருத்தர் போய் சொல்லும்போது எப்படி சொல்லுவேன், நேற்று நான் அந்த பையன்கிட்ட சொன்னேன் அந்த பையனுக்கு ஃப்ரெஞ்சு தெரியுமா. நாலாவது ஆளுக்கு மூணாவது ஆள்கிட்ட போய் சொல்லும்போது அந்த பையனுக்கு ஃப்ரெஞ்சு தெரியுமான்னு சொன்னேன். இன்றைக்கி நான் போய் இன்னொருத்தர் போய் சொல்லும்போது எப்படி சொல்லுவேன், அந்த பையனுக்கு ஃப்ரெஞ்சு தெரியுமான்னு தான் சொல்லுவேன், ஃப்ரெஞ்சு தெரிஞ்சிச்சுன்னு சொல்ல மாட்டேன். பிகாஸ் 4 நாளைக்கு முன்னாடியே அவனுக்கு ஃப்ரெஞ்சுங்கிற மொழி தெரியும், நேற்றும் அவனுக்கு ஃப்ரெஞ்சுங்கிற மொழி தெரியும், இன்றைக்கி அவன் மறந்துருக்க மாட்டான், கண்டிப்பாக ஞாபகத்தில் இருக்கும். ஸோ இன்றைக்கும் அவனுக்கு ஃப்ரெஞ்சுங்கிற மொழி தெரியுது. அப்போ தெரியுதுங்கிறது எப்பவுமே பெர்மனண்ட்டாக இருக்கிறனால ஹியர் யூ நீட் நாட் சேஞ்ச் த டென்ஸ் அட் ஆல். ஹியர் யூ கேன் டைரக்ட்லி யூஸ் நோஸ். But if you want to change the tense, you can say the word knew or the verb knew in past tense also. So such kind of some complicated sentences you have to identify where the facts are coming. You need not change the tenses. Without changing the tenses also, for the facts you can give the same tense without changing the present into past likewise. So about this we can deal in the grammar areas in detail. So regarding writing, we are having email. So to whom you are sending the email, whether you are sending the copy to somebody else, or what kind of subject that you are sending, and what is the content on the particular email. So with these details you have to write email. And regarding letter writing, formal writing, informal, that personal letter, formal writing you are having the applications and job opportunities and leave letter. So all the contents coming under formal writing. In formal writing, in those days, அந்த காலத்தில் எல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃப்ரம் டூ எல்லாம் போட்டுட்டு சார் எழுதிட்டு சப்ஜெக்ட் எல்லாம் எழுதுறதெல்லாம் நம்ம எல்லாமே இடது பக்கம் எழுதிட்டு யுவர்ஸ் ஃபெய்த்ஃபுல்லி அப்படிங்கிற சப்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் தட் வில் கம் இன் ஆன் த ரைட் சைடு. பட் nowadays it's not like that. Nowadays you are having the start of all the sentences only on the right side margin. So from the right side margin you can just start from the left side margin. So in those days அந்த காலத்தில் நம்ம எல்லாமே வந்து அப்படியே லெஃப்ட் சைடில் ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டு வந்து கடைசியாக ரைட் சைடில் வந்து முடித்தோம் யுவர்ஸ் ஃபெய்த்ஃபுல்லிங்கிற சப்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன். ஆனால் இப்போ மாடர்னில் வந்து அப்படி கிடையாது, எல்லாமே லெஃப்ட் சைட்லேயே வர்ற மாதிரி எழுதுகிறாங்க, ஃப்ரம் போடுறாங்க, டூ போடுறாங்க, சல்யூட்டேஷன் கொடுக்குறாங்க, சப்ஜெக்ட், ரெஃபரன்ஸு, பாடி த லெட்டர், சப்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன், சூப்பர்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன். ஸோ வாட் எவர் யூ ஆர் ஹேவிங் ஆஸ் ஒன் ஆஃப் த கான்டென்ட்ஸ் இன் த பர்டிகுலர் ஃபார்மல் ரைட்டிங், யூ ஆர் ஹேவிங் த ஸ்டார்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் த டீடைல்ஸ் ஒன்லி ஃப்ரம் த லெஃப்ட் சைடு. ஸோ திஸ் ஸ்டைல் இஸ் கால்டு ஃபுல் பிளாக் ஸ்டைல். So this style you can follow, it's being given right from the 6th standard up to +2. So change the format of formal letter and copy the same like in your exam questions also. The same format you can copy to your writing in the answer. Okay. So now so far we have dealt with Aringer Annadurai's speech, and after that what kind of questions can be there in your examinations, and finally we have come to the life oriented point of view. So from this understanding, what kind of question can be asked in the TNPSC question? Because at the end of this particular prose piece, you have been given an advertisement, In that ad you can find one abbreviation, that is IELTS. You might not have noted this particular abbreviation. What is the expansion of it? Because we are looking after only the expansion abbreviations given in the particular area under vocabulary, but somebody might not have felt about the acronym or abbreviations expansion at all. So you have to deal with each and every line. So unless or until you have gone through this particular area, the advertisement area also, you may not give the answer in your competitive exam. See here the same like question, the expansion of IELTS. So this can be found there in the advertisement area, not in the vocabulary part. So in that way, when we attend the question and come out of the examination hall, we say this is out of syllabus. Nothing is out of syllabus unless or until you go through each and every line of the particular text. Here comes the question for competitive exam. From this prose piece, what kind of competitive question can be expected? So look at the question, expand IELTS. Option A, the International English Language Test System. Option B, the International English Language Testing System. Option C, the International English Language Training System. And option D, no improvement. No improvement means none of the above is the correct answer. That is the meaning. Because no improvement means none of the above is the correct answer. So if you feel no option is correct, then you can mark a D. Otherwise you find the answer. So testing or test or training. So only 3 words are, so be proper. The option is B is the right answer. So let us go to the answer C. The expansion of IELTS is the International English Language Testing System. Testing system has to be thoroughly by you so that you can get through even competitive exams. So what Dr. Aringer Annadurai says, have a hope, face the challenges, shoulder the responsibilities, come out with flying colors, get any job opportunities, and be bright in your future. And being bright through competitive exams or through employment opportunities or through settling somewhere else in the agricultural area, give the service to the common people. So by developing you are developing the common people. In turn, like this, you can serve the society. So you are indebted to society. You just pay back that debt so that a bright future, a land of smiles will be there. Best of luck, my dear students, so far, and நன்றி வணக்கம்.
இந்நிகழ்ச்சியை பற்றிய தங்களின் மேலான கருத்துக்களை கீழ்கண்ட முகவரிக்கு கடிதம் மூலமாகவோ மின்னஞ்சல் மூலமாகவோ குறுஞ்செய்தி மூலமாகவோ தெரியப்படுத்தலாம். அனுப்ப வேண்டிய முகவரி சிறப்பு அலுவலர், கல்வி தொலைக்காட்சி, 8ஆம் தளம், அண்ணா நூற்றாண்டு நூலகம், காந்தி மண்டப சாலை, கோட்டூர்புரம், சென்னை 6,85,000. தொலைபேசி எண் 7824015000.